Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to Monday's edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It is beautiful outside. Go enjoy your life. Go enjoy your weather. Every day is an adventure. I flip a coin to whether to do the update or not during this beautiful time of year. Apparently I lost. Maybe I won. I definitely lost. Anyway, I'm here. Click a like, guys. Support the channel if you are liking what we're doing. And hopefully, again, I will continue to do my best, right? To do my best to point you in the right direction. A lot of activity today. Especially in the options market. A lot of news, a lot of activity, some really, really big moves. We'll get to the pivots in a second. And then the market just basically ran out of gas. That's literally what it was. After the morning session, a lot of names we talked about over the weekend update. Tesla went nuts. ARM went nuts. MSTR had a big move. Bitcoin hovering around the 120,000 area. Everything's gapping up. Everything's going nuts. And a lot of noise. And then that's it. That's all she got, right? That's all that's all he got. And the party's over. And well, I don't want to say that. The day was over, right? The day was over. And again, this is totally normal. Nothing to really read into. There's nothing really to more than kind of what it is on the surface. Stocks just get tired. Again, we are in the final lap of summer. I know a lot of you guys, your kids, especially I think in Florida already, they started school. I believe today was the first day. My kids start, I can't believe my son's going to be a senior in high school and my daughter's going to be a junior in high school in a couple of weeks. How crazy how time flies. But, you're going to have a lot of days like this, kind of a stall, and then kind of fizzle out towards the end of the day, just because, again, a lot of people are taking advantage of the last leg of summer. Tomorrow, you got CPI data, inflation watch. Does it really honestly mean anything? People always talk about, oh my God, CPI's tomorrow. And then PPI the next day. Oh my God. Gives a shit, honestly. To be perfectly frank, respectfully, right? Honestly, who cares? The data is the data. Whatever happens, happens. Trust the charts. Forget about, filter out the noise, and everything else will kind of take care of itself. So let's talk about the day, right? Last night, or at some point Sunday afternoon, I recorded the video in the morning. You had news come out that the United States, being the loan shark that they are taxing NVIDIA, AMD for basically the ability to do business with China, to have the access to do business with China. They can charge whatever they want. It's the government, man. It's incredible, right? It's like paying property taxes on a house you own. You're paying taxes on anyway, that's a whole different story. So you had that initial moves down, AMD went down, NVIDIA went down, and just like everything else, they started popping. That's the one thing that, people have to understand. We're in a melt-up market, okay? Just because the stock is down in the morning doesn't mean it's going lower. It's just down in the morning, because when stock has a major move and continues to put higher highs and higher lows, any dip they are buying. And AMD was a perfect example today. AMD got hit with that news, right? Got hit with the 15% additional taxation without representation. And then the stock started exploding because the news came out in the middle of the day that they confirmed that China has given them an export of AI license. They were betting those 200 calls. We caught this news super early. They were betting the 200 Septembers, like one after another. And then 5 minutes later, they announced the news, and just AMD just went absolutely wild after a close, basically closed unchanged in the day. NVIDIA again was down like $2.5 pre-market, pretty much finished the day flat. Again, it really shows you, even when stocks get tired, again, there's just, guys, if you're trying to short the market, always remember the market needs to lose the previous day's range. Just because the stock is down in the morning doesn't mean it's going lower. It's just down. Stocks go up and down all the time. And a perfect example was that, and we segue to Tesla, right? We segued to Tesla a couple of days ago. It closed above the 50-day moving average, and it opened up down. It didn't open up lower. It opened up down. And just like every other stock, and again, if you have never learned anything coming out of my mouth, always remember, above the 50-day, right? Good. Below the 50-day, bad. And again, Tesla reclaimed on Wednesday, confirmed on Thursday, and yada, yada, yada. Here we are. Again, we'll get to the pivots in a second. Massive, absolutely massive move. On the option side, right? They were betting all day today, guys, all day today. When we talked about, they were going to chance to get back to the July highs. We took out the July highs and went absolutely bananas. All day today, they were coming for the 350, 360 weeklies. We saw some massive October 400s. And then next year, right? Next June, we continue to see these weird $700 bets. But again, massive, massive move in Tesla today. But speaking from the options market, I just want to kind of give you some color on some pretty interesting bets that I saw today. MSTR, with the strength of Bitcoin, it's now, building above the 50-day moving average day two. A buyer came in for MSTR for 5,000, right? 5,000 of the weekly 420 calls. That's a premium of $2.8 million. Actually, I traded MSTR today. Got a little bit of the trade on the upside today. AMD, again, those repeat $200 September call buyers came in right in front of the news. They either are the best guessers in the world, or, as this goes, somebody does know something at all times. Meta, we've been discussing Meta now for 2-3 days, kind of going sideways on the earnings consolidation. We saw some pretty big buyers. And if the market doesn't die in the next couple of days, guys, they were coming in with some pretty decent six-figure bets for Meta, the weekly 780 and the weekly 785 calls. We saw a guy put up about a $750,000 bet for the September 800. So the longer it goes sideways, the higher probability busts out of this range. Again, a name to watch. Microsoft, it's been in its own a little bit of consolidation since earnings. Saw buyers say come in for the 527.50 weeklies and the 532.50 weeklies. Again, very, very notable. Again, when you see these bets, and again, regardless of the market is tired or not, if you're still continuously seeing institutional money flow, 6-7 figure bets in the direction where the market is going, it's a good thing. They might get tired and those premiums might still go to zero, but it's a good thing that there's market participation, especially institutional participation, still on the bullish side. It's very, very important to understand, especially entering a trade. Excuse me. SBET has been obviously one of these, darlings, the Ethereum, whatever the case may be. Really big call buying came in today. I know the stock turned around and went red on the day. You can see the volume, 112 million shares. And maybe today was a blow off top. Maybe this is just pure guessing, speculation money. But weeklies came in for the 33s, 35s. I saw one buyer come in for the 41 calls. Buyer came in for Coinbase, again, on the strength of Bitcoin. Somebody came in for 1,000 of the weekly 360s. Again, does look like the market's a little bit tired and wants a little bit of a rest for the next couple of days. And I think honestly that's a good thing. You might have yourself a situation in the next 24 to 48 hours. You might find yourself a little bit less active because, again, even if we back test tomorrow and there's a little bit more rest, that's all it is. It's rest. And the last thing you want to do is trade like it's an aggressive market when the market is resting. I have an old adage I've been saying in the webinars for years. And I've been hosting the webinar going on the 17th year here. When the market rests, you rest. When the market gets aggressive, you step on its throat with extreme prejudice. And again, if you know that the market is getting a little bit heavy, a little bit tired, just chill out, sit back, relax. All it takes is one, right? All it takes is one trade to get you from point A to point B. The one trade, the one call buyer that came in today that was very, very interesting was Aeropostale, or excuse me, not Aero. What was it? Is it Aeropostale? Abercrombie? Which one is this? Anyway, the one with Sydney Sweeney doing the jean ad. And by the way, if you're offended by a lovely lady in jeans, I ain't effing with you. Simple as that. I ain't effing. We can't be friends. There's no possible way you're offended by jeans. I'm sorry, there's no possible way. If you are, you got a lot more issues than trying to figure out which way the market's going. But having said that, September buyers came in for the $17 calls. It is flagging. It's flagging really, really nicely. Held up today as far as the selling goes. I definitely want to watch this thing for the next couple of days, because if they start jamming it over last week's highs, maybe this thing could accelerate. It's all about the genes, baby. It's all about the genes. So that's it, right? So let's talk about some pivots for today. Really aggressive moves. Friday, last Friday, Tesla went nuts, 322.40, needs to confirm. Today, here was, your continuation, 336.69 and the July highs. If you guys remember in the weekend video, we talked about the July highs. It confirmed both the 336.69, 338s, and traded all the way up to 346. Again, like I said, all week, 50, 60, 350, 350, 360 weekly call buyers. Again, if it rests in the next couple of days, I will be using the opportunity to get this thing on a dip into daily support. Google, like we talked about in the weekend update, this is the hardest stock to stay long. I'm still long the stock. The funny thing is, Google actually held up very, very well. It had a massive day on Friday, and it was only down 40 cents. So this is a rest day. This is called an inside day. Some buyers came in today for the 205s and the 207.50 weekly calls. Fingers crossed. Again, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Meta, I'm still watching. If you guys remember, we talked about ARM, right? We talked about, if you watch the weekend video, go back to the weekend video. We talked about the similarities that Amazon brushed off earnings, reversed AMD, Tesla, right? Well, ARM did the same thing. We talked about it on the weekend video. 140.88 needs to reclaim back the 50-day moving average. And here was ARM. Big move here. Really, really big move at the open. You can see here, really, really massive move here at the open. Took out the 40.68 and traded all the way up to almost 47. Massive, massive move. Congratulations for all you guys who caught that as well. And I traded MSTR. I traded it because a weekly call buyer came in. Usually I wouldn't trade MSTR, but a buyer came in very, very aggressively. There was an upper Bollinger Band there into supply at the 414 level. That's where I sold it. And it never got back up there. So that was fine as well. So that's it. Going into tomorrow, folks, I am preparing for a little bit of a slower day, more methodical day. Again, the market just looks a little bit tired. Doesn't mean the market's going to crash. It just means the market's a little bit tired. The good news is when the market is tired and the groups that had big, big runs are tired, they spill over money flow into other groups. So we will definitely be watching other groups for potential moves, right? Potential moves. We don't know what they are yet because, well, they haven't showed themselves yet, but hopefully they will tomorrow. Again, you guys, if you are interested in following along for years, guys, just all it takes is 30 days. Come into the webinar, check out the pivots, see how we trade them via the options flow, see how we incorporate the bounces and the rejections, all the stuff you hear me talk about. But it's one of those things that you're just afraid of the unknown. Well, yeah, that's the whole point. People are afraid of the unknown until they see it, and then they realize there is an alternative to the normal. Guys, God bless everybody. Hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.